everyone. Welcome to Jenna and Maddie's Coffee Break, where we talk about the coffee orders of our favorite anime characters. I'm Maddie.
I'm Jenna. I'm not Maddie.
No. And today we are going to talk about Reki and Langa from Sk8 the Infinity.
You could have guessed.
I know. I mean, exactly. But first we have to address the beanie you're wearing.
Yes. It's mostly first because my hair is messy, but also because it's a cat.
You're a cat.
Reki, it's a cat.
You're a cat! One of the best dub lines ever. Matt Shipman nailed that one. But I think we should start with Reki.
I agree.
With his coffee.
I have thoughts. I have many thoughts on this. But I want you to start since you're the number one Reki fan in the world.
Well, I'm so thankful to have that title. So I, like most fans, I feel like we all headcanon him as having ADHD. And I feel like it's very common for boys who have ADHD, at least from like my friends who have sons who have ADHD. Caffeine makes them tired. So I personally think that Reki would be drinking decaf if he's going to drink coffee. Or he's the kind to drink it at night, like, or after S when he comes home. And it kind of has the opposite effect that coffee would actually have on a normal, like a non-neurodivergent person. But
see, that's a good. I like that. I didn't think of the effect that caffeine has on ADHD brain, which is ironic because I have ADHD brain. But
I think I think it's different for everyone. It's not like a for sure thing because I have ADHD, and coffee doesn't make me tired.
Right.
But I know a lot of people are affected like opposite with coffee. So
right.
I feel like Reki would be one of those people personally.
I feel like he loves sweets and sugar and it's like everyone is like, no, you don't drink that drink that's like super syrupy. It's too much for you. And he's like a child who grabs a candy bar he shouldn't have, you know?
Yeah. See, I agree with that. I think like the sugar is what would be hyping him up. So like
right, not the caffeine. Yeah.
Right. He drinks the decaf coffee, but then he gets like 3 extra pumps of mocha.
Right.
He gets it blended with whipped cream and whipped cream on top if he gets a frappuccino. Like it's like
a little caramel drizzle on.
It's just a mountain of sugar. And his friends all think it's disgusting, but that's just
and I feel like Langa is the one who's more responsible, and he's like, you shouldn't be having that kind of sweets. And every time he like turns his back, Reki has a giant cup with like like a caramel latte frappuccino.
He's got the super fancy one. It's like that song, I'll have a mocha caramel latte chino made with skim milk, no whipped cream or whatever. Like, but except, he wants the whipped cream and he wants the sugar and all that stuff.
So cute. He's a beauty. I love Reki.
Yeah, that's fully what I believe. But also, I also headcanon that he's lactose intolerant.
Right.
But that doesn't stop him from getting, whipped cream and whole milk because it just tastes better.
I think we've had this conversation before where it's like, Reki's like, I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm just drinking this milk. Like,
yeah, I'm not. This isn't lactose. It's milk. Like, what are you talking? There's no lactose in this. It's creamer. And everyone else is like,
he fully believes it too. He's like, I don't get it, guys. Like, it's just milk.
Yeah.
And Langa pulls out like the Lactaid and like shoves it in his mouth.
Langa's always prepared. Like his mom's a nurse, and he's always prepared to help Reki with his tummy ache. So
like a little first aid kit, like a little.
It's not even a first aid kit. It's a Reki kit. Like he doesn't share it with anyone else. Like it's got Band-Aids and Neosporin and like
Lactaid.
And Lactaid. Yeah.
Oh my god! I feel like Cherry and Joe would also have a Reki kit because they're like the dads, kind of. Like they would be prepared for Reki's nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think that if like Langa orders his coffee for him, like Langa does the coffee run, he'll get like soy milk and he just won't tell Reki, and Reki can't tell the difference. He swears he can. He swears that it tastes different. he's like, no, when I order it, I always order it with whole milk because I can tell the difference. And then Langa orders it for him so he doesn't get a stomach ache and he cannot tell the difference.
Yeah, I totally, completely agree with that. And he doesn't get like any whipped cream on it for him. And he like Reki pouts and is like, "Where's my whipped cream?" And Langa's like, they ran out.
They ran out of whipped cream.
They ran out.
Or Langa just plays it off as he forgets because, everyone thinks he's just this airhead. So he's like, oh, I just forgot. I'm sorry. And Reki's like, you forget the whipped cream every time. Like, this is kind of suspicious. But okay, like.
And why doesn't my tummy hurt?
Right. And Langa's like, but it tastes okay, right? He's like, well, yeah, of course it tastes fine. Or
isn't it supposed to give you a tummy ache?
He just assumes it's supposed to hurt your stomach because that's what he's used to.
It was so in character for him, though.
It's ridiculous.
He's like, wait, you mean your stomach doesn't hurt?
Yeah, like, you mean you're not running to the bathroom every 30 minutes after you drink coffee? I thought that was normal.
Okay, so like when Joe cooks for him too, he makes all food that won't upset his stomach, and Reki doesn't even realize it.
No. Precious boy.
Precious boy. Head empty boy.
Yes. And then Langa, I don't have as many intense thoughts for Langa's coffee. I feel like his coffee order would be pretty normal. Like, if he orders something, he's going to order it the way it comes on the menu. Like, he's not going to try and, like, add a bunch of stuff, especially in Japan where he can barely read the language. Like, he's just going to be like, I want a vanilla latte.
Well, yeah, he's like...
And, like, that's what he's getting. Like, even if he doesn't like it, he doesn't want to add extra stuff. He's just going to drink it.
And he doesn't want to ask. Like, he doesn't want to ask anybody, like, what is the right order on the menu, because then it makes him look like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. And Reki's always offering to order for him. He's like, no, it's not. It's fine.
I got it.
I can do this. And Reki's like, but you never like your coffee. Like, you have, maybe you should just find one you like and just, like, stick to it instead of trying a bunch of different things.
Reki always finishes his drink because he sips it and he's like, damn, this is not what I wanted.
Reki just pours it into whatever he's drinking.
Or Mia just steals it and they're like, Mia, you are way too young to be drinking this latte.
We'll have a whole other discussion about Mia and the fact that he's a child and shouldn't be drinking coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, he just snatches it so that they don't even know.
Yeah.
Langa misses Tim Hortons, like, really, really badly. It's the number one thing about Canada over snowboarding that he misses.
And see, I know nothing about Tim Hortons except that it's like a Canadian institution. Yeah. That's all I know.
The only thing I know is the only time I've ever seen a Tim Hortons is when I used to work in Manhattan and had to go into Penn Station. They had a Tim Hortons in there, and it was the only time I ever saw Tim Hortons. And I was like, why? Why is it in New York? Isn't this Canada?
I was going to say, you're closer to Canada than I am. So if anyone's, like, been to one or seen one, it's you. I have not. So I'm sorry to all of my Canadian friends, but I don't understand what's so special about it. I'm assuming there's something.
No, it's just the Canadian thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Maybe we can learn more about Tim Hortons culture.
They should, like, have a similar thing, like if they do the OVA where they go snowboarding in Canada, and, like, Langa's like, you have to try the coffee.
And they're
it's like that scene in Elf. This tastes like a crappy cup of coffee because it is a crappy cup of coffee.
Oh my god!
Like, no, it's Tim Hortons. Like, it's the best.
They're like, this is a plain coffee with milk and sugar in it. I don't get it.
Reki's like, why can't I add more? He's, like, sitting there like this with the sugar, just dumping it in.
I know, also Tim Hortons, I always kind of, like, imagine is akin to Dunkin' Donuts. Like, that's kind of what I assume in my head. It's like a Dunkin' Donuts, but probably better. Don't come at me, Dunkin', but I'm assuming Tim Hortons is a Dunkin' sort of thing because they have donuts and everything. So Langa is more like there for the pastries.
Of course.
Yeah. He wants like a big donut or something.
Right. Or like 14 different breakfast sandwiches. Like,
right.
Yeah. Like at the A&W where he's eating a, stack of hamburgers. He's there for the stack of I'm assuming they have breakfast sandwiches. I feel like that's a thing.
Probably. I mean, if it's like a breakfast-y coffee donut shop, they should have.
Right.
If not, like, hey, Tim Hortons, you might want to consider expanding to the breakfast sandwich arena.
We should have done some research before.
This is turning into like, let's talk about what we think Tim Hortons is.
Instead of their coffee orders.
But no, Langa definitely goes in there. I like how you said he just like will pick something off the menu. But he's like, I'll make up for getting like 4 donuts and just eat my donuts.
Yeah, he's not like a super coffee guy. Like it wakes him up and that's like enough for him. Whereas Reki like Langa drinks it to sustain himself to be awake and then eats all of the food for pleasure. Whereas Reki's like, no, I need to enjoy my coffee. Otherwise, there's no point in drinking
living.
it.
Oh,
exactly. In living. There's no point in living. I don't think he's that obsessed with coffee.
But
feel
he's
like
dramatic. He's a little dramatic. So
of course, he's so dramatic. Yeah, exactly.
He needs his sugar rush.
Yes, yeah, because it's his decaf coffee, but the sugar is what wakes him up.
Just
absolutely.
I'm like laughing at the idea of Reki like chugging a whole thing of like iced coffee before S and then like skating and being like, I don't feel good. Oh no!
Like, no, what's wrong? He has to drink it before he leaves the house, and like Langa rolls up and he texts him and he's like, I'm here. Go to the bathroom before we leave.
Langa is so responsible. Like Reki, I don't know how Reki survived before honestly. He's a silly boy.
He's like, I don't need to go to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, you do. You need to go before we go to S.
My stomach doesn't hurt. Yes, it does. I know it does.
He's like, I know it does because I didn't buy your coffee. And he's like, what? Longa's like, what?
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 I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Very, very in character for both of them, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like it as far as what I think about like their orders. I don't think there's really anything else. I think we kind of hit everything. I mean, they're also 17. I don't know how big coffee is with teenage boys. I know when I was 17, I always thought it was cool to have a Starbucks. I was like, yeah, I got my my decaf frappuccino.
Well, we're just doing the headcanons for purpose of entertainment, whether or not it's like culturally
whether it's a thing. Yeah, exactly. That's so true. Yeah. So that's kind of those are my thoughts. I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
No, those are, I think that we hit it all. And I definitely think that is an accurate portrayal of Reki and Langa.
Yes, perfect. As I sit here sipping my coffee that I actually put too much creamer in.
It doesn't seem to be bothering you though. You're still going. I'm like at the end of mine, and I was trying to milk it to get through the end of talking, but it's like
that's okay.
It's the end of my cold brew.
Yeah,
cold brew.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Well, I think that'll conclude Jenna and Maddie's coffee break time for today. Tune in next time to hear us scream about other people.
Yeah, we do love screaming, and we hope that you enjoy our unhinged rambling.
Yes, exactly. Our unhinged ramblings. I like it. That'll be our tagline. Is
tune in for some more unhinged rambling.
Tune in for unhinged. Yes.
And then play it out with the guitar riff.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. That sounds great. Cool.
And see.
Done.